I'm Miss Walker, and in this video, I'm going over week 4, Monday, solve the number bonds. And we know that number bonds are just like fact families. So we've got to use what we call inverse operations, which are operations or addition and subtraction problems. They are the opposite of each other. So addition is the opposite of subtraction. Subtraction is the opposite of addition. So I can use addition to solve a subtraction problem, or I can use subtraction to solve an addition problem. Okay. Some key vocabulary that we need to know is an addend is the number or numbers that are being added. So in this problem, 4 is an addend, and this missing number is an addend. And the sum is the answer to an addition problem. So 20 is the sum. The first thing I notice about these problems is that they all have one addend that is there, and they all have a missing addend. They also all have a sum of 20. Okay. In this video, I'm going to show you different ways that you could solve these problems. Some may be easier for you. Some may not make any sense at all. Some may just be like, oh, I didn't think about solving it that way. The thing about math and the thing about addition and subtraction, multiplication, even division, is that you can find many different ways to solve a problem. I love teaching number talks in my classroom because my students find out that even though somebody over here solves a problem different than you did, that doesn't mean your answer is wrong. It just means that you guys have different ways of processing the information, different ways to get there. And that's part of the reason why I love math. So I'm going to show you some different ways, and you may even know a way that I didn't show in this video. You may want to post your way of doing it. Comment at the bottom. Maybe you want to email me. Maybe you want to call me and say, hey, Miss Walker, I solved it this way. I decomposed my number into 5s. I decomposed into 10s. I composed into 10s. Maybe you decomposed into 2s because that was easier to count by. Whatever you need to do to solve the problem is what you need to do, as long as you're not cheating and as long as you get the right answer. Here we go. The first thing I'm going to show you is subtraction to find an answer. When we have a problem, 4 plus something equals 20. When we have a problem where we are missing an addend, you can always subtract because the opposite of addition is subtraction. So you can put 20 in your head and take away 4. So 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. So this missing addend on this one is 16. On number 2, something plus 8 equals 20. Here's the way that I like to solve these problems. I love to make 10. My students always know if you can make a 10, Ms. Walker is going to shout you out and say, oh, yes, you got it going on. You made a 10. Shout you out real quick for making a 10. So I know that 20 is a multiple of 10. That means if I count by 10s, I will hit the number 20. So I'm going to make my list of all my addends that I can add together to get 10. So I know 1 plus 9 is 10. I know 2 plus 8 is 10. I know 3 plus 7 is 10. I know 4 plus 6 is 10. And I know 5 plus 5 is 10. And you're probably like, Miss Walker, don't you know 6 plus 4 and 7 plus 3 and 8 plus 2 and 9 plus 1 give you 10? I know that. But with addition, you can flip the numbers. You can flip your addends. They don't have to be in the same place. You can move them around. They can be in any order, and they'll still give you a sum of 10. That is called the commutative property of addition. So I'm going to write out my steps on this one, and then on the next problem that I do, I'm not going to write out my steps so that you can see how I do it a little bit quicker. So I know that I have 8 plus something equals 20. I've got to figure out, possibly, oh, I've got to do the drawing tool. Okay, let's try again. I've got to figure out 8 plus what gives me 10. First, I got to figure that out. Then I already know 10, I'm going to use that 10, and I'm trying to get 20. So 10 plus something is going to give me 20. I've got to figure out what goes in that blank. So let's see. What color am I going to use? Let's use green. So 8 plus something gives me 10. If I'm looking at this, 2 plus 8 is 10. I'm going to put 2 in this blank. On this one, 10 plus something gives me 20. I know 10 plus 10 is 20. That's a double. I know my doubles, and I know how to make 10. So in order to figure out this missing addend, I've got to add my 2 green numbers. I've got to add 2, and I've got to add 10. And 2 plus 10 is 12. So I know 12 plus 8 is going to give me 20. Let's double check. 12 plus 8. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That is correct. Moving on to this next one. 0 plus something is 20. If I have 0 and I add 20, I get 20. Number 4, 1 plus something is 20. Well, I know for sure I'm not going to start at 1 and try to count up to 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Takes too much time. I don't even have enough fingers for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 20 in my head, and I'm going to take 1 away, and that gives me 19. 1 plus 19 is 20. On number 5, 17 plus something is 20. Well, 17 and 20 are really close to each other, and if I was counting by tens, I already got a 10. I'm past 10. So the next 10 would be 20. So I can't add 10 more, so I'm just going to count up. 17 in my head, 18, 19, 20. That leaves 3. On this next one, I'm at 6, and I'm trying to get to 20. On this one, I'm not going to do the steps like I did up here. I'm just going to go ahead and solve it. So I've got to figure out how many more I need to get to 10, because I just want to double my 10 once I get 10. So 6 plus, I'm looking over here, 6 plus 4 gives me 10. So I'm going to write 4 down here. And I already know once I get 10, I'm just going to add 10 more. And 4 plus 10 is 14. So I'm going to put 14. On this next one, 11 plus something equals 20. Well, I could start at 11. I could put 11 in my head and count up to 20. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That gives me 9. Or I could write the number 20. And I know the inverse operation of addition is subtraction. I could do 20, take away 11. Start in my ones place. More on the floor. Go next door. Get 10 more. 10 take away 1 is 9. 1 minus 1, number's the same. 0 is the game. So I don't have to put that 0 there. And that just leaves me with 9. So I was correct. On this next one, 5 plus something is 20. Well, I know if I'm already at 5, I can just keep counting by 5 so I get to 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. And then I count up my green numbers. 5, 10, 15. So 15 plus 5, or 5 plus 15 is 20. Now, on this next one, I've got 7 plus something equals 20. And we did subtraction, on one of them, but we didn't do subtraction on a problem where it has 2 digits as the sum and 1 digit as an addend. So that means my minuend, which is my big number, is going to be on top, and my subtrahend has to be in the ones place because my subtrahend is 7. I've got to make sure they line up. I cannot take 7 from 0. So I've got to go next door, get 10 more. 10 take away 7 is 3, and 1 take away nothing is 1. So this missing addend is 13. That would have really helped if I had my addition chart here. I'm going to rewrite it since it got erased. I'm not going to put the plus sign in between, and I'm going to do them backwards. 9 and 1, 8 and 2, 7 and 3, 6 and 4, and then 5 and 5. So on this problem right here where it has 10 take away 7, you can use this chart right here and look over here at the 7 and see, okay, 10 minus 7 gives me 3. So that's another way you can utilize that. On this next one, 16 plus something is 20. Now, I've noticed a pattern. I've noticed that if I have a 1-digit addend that I know, and my sum is 2 digits, the missing addend has to be 2 digits. If I have a 2-digit addend that I know, and a 2-digit sum, the missing addend has got to be 1 digit. So on this one, my missing addend has to have only 1 digit. So I'm thinking to myself, 16 plus what is 20? Or I could say 6 plus what is 10? To get 10, I can look over here. 6 plus 4 is 10. 16 plus 4 is 20. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. On these last 10 problems, I am going to quickly go over how I would solve them. Okay? And then I'm going to put my answer. On this one, I'm trying to get my missing addend. 7 plus something is 20. I know 7 plus 3 is 10, and 10 plus 3 is 13. So 13 plus 7 is 20. 19 plus something is 20. If I add 1 to 19, I get 20. On this one, something plus 5 is 20. We've done it already, and that is 15. So I'm probably like, Ms. Walker, that was the same as the one we did prior. And look at number 11 and number 9. Yes, they both have the same addends, but they're in different orders. It doesn't matter what order your numbers are in when you're adding because of that commutative property. All right, back to number 14. 14 plus something is 20. I know 4 plus 6 is 10. So I know 14 plus 6 has to be 20. Something plus 2 is 20. I know that's 18. You start with 20 in your head, 20, and take away 2, 20, 19, 18. Okay. Moving on to number 16. Ooh, it has 2 plus something equals 20. I just did that over here. So I know that this missing addend is 18. I didn't have to do any work on that one. Ooh, this one looks cool. Huh. In my mind, I'm seeing a relationship. I'm seeing that these two problems look very similar. Even though this one is 18 and 2, this is blank and 12. So I'm thinking to myself, what if I took this 10? Because when you decompose 18, you decompose it into a 10 and an 8. So I'm wondering if I decompose this and I take off this 10 and I move this 10 over here to the 2, that makes this 12 and I'm left with 8. That looks like this problem down below. So 8 plus 12 must be 20. I can double check by adding 12 plus 8 8 plus 2 is 10. And 1 plus 1 is 2. Huh, so cool. That place value comes in handy. All right, I'm going to go ahead and finish up. Something plus 10 gives me 20. I've been talking about this the whole video. 10 plus 10 is 20. I know my doubles. 11 plus 9 is 20. And 3 plus 17 is 20. I hope that you enjoyed this video and you understand that math can be amazing. It's just what you make of it. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be something you don't like. It can be something that totally changes the way that you think about numbers. So, thank you for watching my video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.